just recently watched Joe Dirt again. Such a great movie. Oh man.
Did you ever watch the sequel?
I didn't.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah. I didn't think it was fucking worth it.
I'd be curious how it is, but still haven't watched it.
No, the original was so good.
Classic. Classic.
Classic.
I always do the one that lives in my head forever and always is when he has to go up on top of the roof and he gets in the balloon that's like a giant tooth. And then the wind picks up or whatever and he starts blowing away.
Yeah.
And the boss in the office comes out and he's yelling at him. He's like, "Hey boss, I'm going on a break," as he sails away. In a hot air balloon. That pops in my head frequently. "Hey boss, I'm going on break."
Going on break. So good. So many classic like moments. "I'm your sister. You're my sister."
Oh, no.
So awful. Oh man. Joe Dirt's a great movie. Anyways, we've that was a slight tangent.
Focus.
I believe
All right.
you have a theoretical for me. What do you got?
I have a
my
theoretical
friend?
for you that I think you will enjoy.
Oh no.
What do you think personal relationships would look like if humans communicated solely through scent like some other animals do?
Oh no. Oh no. Oh, that's a fucking good one. Okay. I think first off, armpit smelling would become really big. I think I don't think I'm making a reach here either. I think that you like humans would be like, instead of, because we're not gonna smell ass. Your butt's always gonna be stinky.
It's too low, just basically like two
Exactly.
humans walk up to each other. You're not gonna
But
bend all the way
if
over.
you do, crank up the old pit.
So it's like the new habit would be like you wave at somebody, "Oh hey," but you can't say "hey," so you wave and you just hold your arm up and they walk up and.
But here's the thing: is like, think about like a hug. A hug is like you come in and you like put your head down and you're taking a big whiff.
And then you take that whiff and you get the scent that you know is wrong, and now you know this person's aggressive.
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah. Well, and that, yeah. Oh man, that's curious. I feel like also, I mean, it wouldn't just be a physical thing. I feel like cooking would become a big like point of like almost foreplay. Like I think it would stop being like dressing nice or doing it. It's like, who can cook the most fragrant, delicious smelling food, right?
Chef Ramsay becomes the most eligible bachelor.
Dude, I mean, listen, like, I feel like that's what ends up happening, and then we're all just like beefed up boys because we're all eating so good.
And there would definitely be cultural differences in the scents.
Mm-hmm.
I think too, like Indian culture, they cook with a lot of strong scented, like cumin and things,
Yeah.
or curry powder and such. So,
I would
Wow.
definitely be like, there's some Southern woman though, just
you're like,
cooking
I'm
up
looking
barbecue.
for a fried chicken smelling woman.
Yeah. Oh my god, I had fried chicken
That
yesterday.
girl smells like pepperoni pizza.
Ugh. Just like I feel like, yeah, I think culturally, well, but the thing about it is too, is I feel like there'd be a lot more melding of cultures too with cooking. You get a lot more fusion, because then, if you have like, I feel like I'd be cooking primarily like, Mexican cuisine. So then it's like, if I meet someone who's, I really love pho. So if I had met someone who was cooking, Vietnamese food, then we have like this weird Mexican Vietnamese fusion of food that then our kids would then, go off and cook that. And then they find someone who's really into like, Chinese and fucking Ethiopian food. And all of a sudden it becomes this weird mesh of all these fusions. And I think it'd be a lot more inventive, honestly. I want to live in that world where we're just cooking a bunch of really good shit.
Just cooking for love.
Hell yeah. Yeah, because I can't
Okay,
think
but what
about...
about
Okay, go ahead.
how about we no longer communicate with speech and voice? I suppose if we're going with the animal kingdom kind of analogy, maybe we grunt.
We grunt. We're like...
You start purring. I don't know.
Like, what do you think? What actions would humans take?
I'm kind of thinking like, all right, you go to a job interview. How do you make a good impression?
Oh fuck!
You just you walk up and hold your arm up. He sniffs you like, you're no good. You're not. Not fit in here.
That is curious if like you have to bring like, because okay, let's think about not cooking. like the fragrance industry would be insane, right? Because you could
Ooh.
be a huge piece of shit, but you smell really good. You're attracting a lot of people because you smell
Axe
nice.
puts out a good guy spray.
Yeah, dude.
Smell this, you know he's a good guy.
Yeah, he's a good guy. Um, yeah, I'm curious. And I feel like, because I feel like if it's like purely like smell and pheromones, I can't help but think about the kid that was like pheromone maxing on TikTok or whatever, where he's just like, I haven't showered in 4 months. It's like, brother, don't do that.
Ooh.
Don't do that. Yucky.
That's not pheromone maxing. That's
You're
disgusting.
stinky. You're gross. You're yucky.
You smell that dude from a mile away.
But I can't help but think like people would probably do that because like people have. Here's the thing too is like people like different things. People like different smells. You know,
Ooh,
think about
and,
like. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, okay. If smells are giving you information about a person,
Mm-hmm.
like this dude smells so bad, he must be hitting the gym.
True.
That means he's strong.
He
That
smells
means he
of
could protect me.
sweat. Yeah.
I want this man sniff me. You tell me if I'm cool, because I think you're cool.
Yeah. Well, and I'm curious too is like, you know, like the different products. What if you're like, what if you go out one day and you're like, you know, oh man, I rushed out of the house. I had to use my wife's scent stuff. So now I smell like
Happened to
my
me
wife.
so many times.
And now some guy's like, hey, baby, how you doing?
Hey, baby.
Let me smell you. You know, all of a sudden it's like, whoa, it's an
Mm.
awkward moment of like, no, I have to, here's the other scent. And then you have like a spray that's like, I'm a man spray on you. I don't know. Get back. And you're like sprayed it with a little bottle.
All right, when we move into the product, the merchandise aspect of Time Well Mint, I want Time Well Mint I'm a Man spray.
I'm a man, but it's like the most feminine, delicious, dainty smelling.
Like coconut and lilac.
I'm not a huge fan of lilac.
That's so funny because we were just talking off stream how I hate lavender. I hate the smell of lavender
I love
so
lavender.
much.
Lavender
It
is so
pisses me
good.
off. Dude, and when I went to that wedding in New Orleans way back when, instead of like, you know, at the end of a wedding, you do like rice or, you know, different people do different things.
Yeah.
At me and my wife's weddings, we just had people blow bubbles. But at the end of this wedding, because the bride told us this, the venue was super restrictive about like leaving stuff behind, so they didn't want you throwing rice or anything
Yeah.
like that. But they were okay with lavender petals.
I guess
So they gave all the guests
flowers.
these little bags of lavender petals. I was so pissed. I was, oh, my hands are going to smell like lavender for a week. Ruined that wedding. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. I love you,
Ruined it.
bride, if you ever listen to this.
No, I mean, and that's the thing too is like I feel like if there's certain smells that you don't like, you're really not gonna like them if that's the only way that you know. I feel like my girlfriend and I
think.
would not be together because I fart a lot, and she gets upset with me.
Yeah, but in this world, you can't speak, so maybe that's how she finds you. You get lost in a Walmart, and she sniffs you out.
She's like a bloodhound hunting down my farts. Oh, shit. I'm just crop dusting through the Walmart, and she's like, "I know exactly where he is. Follow the trail." And zooming through the
Or
aisles.
grunting or making whatever animal noises we agreed upon.
I
Maybe
am-
humans could start roaring.
Mm,
No?
no, I don't ever see. Every time I've seen someone like imitate a roar, it's never good. It's never
Never
like
good.
No.
You haven't listened to enough death metal.
Well, okay, but that's like more of a howl than a roar. You know what I mean? That's more of like a
There's
like,
different techniques.
yeah, but I feel like this is more of rumble. That takes training too. You're not just doing that overnight. I mean, I guess if it's something that you
Maybe
do
you're
from
not.
birth, but you can't. You've been doing it for a while, so you could do it. But I'm not.
Ooh, I'd be so scary and intimidating.
What if it's not? What if all of a sudden all of those sorts of noises become like, oh, this is a friendly guy. This guy's really
Aw.
friendly.
Also, I guess in the context of doing it as a death metal vocalist you wouldn't have any words, so you're just like, ah.
You know, and I guess it could only be like you're not necessarily using it to communicate like your actions, or you're mostly just communicating your feelings at that point with that. I don't think you're like communicating. You're like, I'm upset, or I'm happy now, or like, you know, whatever. I don't know.
I want
There's
to
different-
roar to
yeah.
tell you that I love you.
Yeah, shit like that. Because I would
And
think
then
too,
I,
like how.
and then I fart to really give you that love scent.
I would think too, like, what is art and stuff look like now? Like, if you can't enjoy it, art like paintings or anything like that, or you can't enjoy
Oh, because
music, or the same way because
well,
you're
we
not
can still
talking.
hear. Oh no, I didn't think about
You're
music.
not. Yeah, you're not.
Okay, but on the topic of art, they would lose that cop out that all like artists use of explaining it to give it value. You know what I mean?
I mean,
I'm thinking
but
about like overpriced paintings. Oh, this
yeah,
art is valuable because John Rambo painted it on the 4th night of July when he was sad about his girlfriend missing.
right, right. But I'm saying like how would art, like if you have like smelling art, if you have like, oh, this is such a unique
Scratch
scent.
and sniff becomes the thing, dude. You want to make real art? You got to make scratch and sniff.
Scratch and sniff, dude. Scratch and sniff takes over the world. Biggest industry.
Cool. I like that world.
Think about like how like going even deeper. Think about like scratch and sniff lingerie as like becomes a big thing. You know,
Ooh, you're
like
like
your
you
scratch and
really
sniff
want to get your man
speedo.
in the mood? Scratch it right here.
Yeah, scratch and sniff
Starts emitting a scent.
speedos. Scratch and sniff.
Ooh.
I don't know, whatever else.
That could be abused. Like top government agents keep truth smelling serum in their pockets.
Tell me
So
what I
I
need
try
to
to talk to
know.
you and they pop it.
Yeah,
Oh wait, but they would smell it
smell
too, and
this.
everybody starts telling the truth. I'm holding you against your will out of this is an
Well,
illegal stop and search.
so if you're not talking, how are you communicating these things though? Like, are you releasing smells that then
Ooh.
communicate into your brain what's happening, right? Because then you could trick other people and you create smells that like, oh, I'm really, I really do love you, and you're like, I actually hate you, like, different pheromones and shit.
Okay, so instead of like professional imitators or even like actors that can do impressions,
Hmm.
somebody would have to get really good at recreating other people's farts.
I like how I just stuck on like it's coming out the asshole. That's
Yeah, I
where
mean,
that's where the communication's coming.
that's the main
What about burps?
scent emitting part of a human.
You ever made anyone with bad breath?
Well, yeah. But
Never,
I
never
think
made
most of the
anyone.
world's just gonna have coffee breath all the time.
True. I would think like yeah, coffee may not be a big of a thing. Think about how strong of a smell coffee has. It might be
Ooh,
something
it's
that's
too
like
strong.
more of a unique thing rather than it
So
being
then, ooh, but like minty toothpaste, you're like,
probably toned down.
smells so
Yeah,
bad.
I feel like a lot of stuff would be toned down a lot. You would end up having things that are like low smell or like it just has like forever, like somehow they just like, oh, this doesn't smell as bad or as much.
Ooh, I
Um
didn't think about like, because obviously in this world humans smell more strongly.
yeah. Yeah.
So, something dies. Ooh, your trash can in the kitchen. You just can't help, but you can't even walk in your kitchen without like, ugh.
That motherfucker's going outside. You're not. I feel like the thing about it is too is we would also have to have adaptations. Like our nostrils would have to be like flared upwards or like more forward, I should say, to be able to like directionally smell. We would have to be able to. We get like longer schnozzes.
Picturing like, because we're humans, we're very innovative. We're gonna create something that we stick up our nose that like flares outward to give us more
Yeah,
more
yeah. Something to
coverage.
amplify, but then something to dull it. I just think we would just end up like we would all just all end up with elephant trunks, like mechanical elephant trunks that
Ooh,
were like
my dream.
snuffleupagusing around.
My dreams come true.
There you go. There you go.
Kind of oddly on this topic, I just recently saw a product that is supposed to like if you're in a say you go to the gym and it smells like dude bros.
Mm-hmm.
It's I looked at it and it's quite literally like a septum ring or like an earring,
Hmm.
but you turn it upside down and you press it up onto your septum and it just kind of clamps on, just not too tight, but like a little bit, and it's coated with essential oils. So
Oh,
that way, as you're
interesting.
breathing, you're just smelling lavender, which pisses me off, but other people like
I'm
it.
sure there's other flavors or whatever.
There's multiple.
There's got to be more.
The one I saw was lavender, and I thought I would rage.
Fucking,
I stuck that in my nose.
So pissed. That is interesting. That is interesting. I think that's yeah.
So in this world, that could be a popular thing.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Having scented everything would be yeah, a thing.
I wonder if it'd be too much,
I don't know. I feel like yeah, at some point you'd be overwhelmed.
but we'd adapt.
This all this reminds me of is like All Tomorrows. Do you know what All Tomorrows is? It's a
Nope.
it's a book. I want to say it's a novel or a novella. It's a short story about humanity. It's actually like a dark, really really dark story. Humanity. It talks about humanity's future, and essentially this evil, I guess they're only evil to us. They could just be doing their own thing. It's subjective, I guess, to look at if they are. Anyways, they're evil in this case. This evil alien race shows up. They're called the Q. There's these godlike beings that humanity tries to fight. They get their shit kicked the fuck in. And then the Q start experimenting on them and start manipulating them genetically. And so like they make these worm people, they make these like antelope people. They make one of the planets is basically all of these people fused together in like a colony sort of thing. So it's like they're like little square blocks and they're all just like fused together. They cover the entire planet. There's people that are like these snake people. And what All Tomorrows talks about is like how they advance as a civilization. So like some of them die off, some of them create like futuristic like or adapt really well to their planet and then become these like they talk about the worm people is what they're initially called, becoming snake people, and they have their own civilization and culture and everything, and they develop in all these different unique weird ways. And that's kind of what that reminds me of. Is like, what if like that would be like a Q experiment of like these people can only communicate through smell. They're the nosers. Beautiful. Or something. I don't know.
Nosers.
Yeah, something like that. So look up if you've never checked out All Tomorrows. It's a very interesting. I gotta look up really quickly who that's by. The guy who did it is.
That's cool. No, really, it's a cool concept. It goes kind of exactly what we were saying. Humans are so adaptable. We'd find a way.
C.M. Kozman.
You don't think about like the dude that lost his hands or arms or whatever, and now he plays games on his with his feet.
Yeah, seen that a couple times. It's really interesting. So C.M. Kozman did the book, but there's also artwork in the book that shows you the concepts of the different stuff. So it's really interesting. Definitely give All Tomorrows a look. See.
Said by C.M.
C.M. Kozman, Kosman. So Kozman, pretty interesting read. It's just a very odd story, but just also really interesting. Again, kind of dark at times. Definitely like some fucked up stuff in there, but it's also just kind of interesting. Just like conceptually speaking of like, what would happen to humanity if it was separated and then dissected and worked on and had to re-evolve essentially.
That reminds me of the experiments in the different vaults in the Fallout universe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Cool concept.
Yeah, same sort of concept, but taken to another extreme for sure. But it's
sick. Yeah. We should experiment more on humans.
What? No, maybe not.
Why not?
Because it's not safe. I mean, I don't know. I don't have the mind to.
Can people legally volunteer? It's like, I volunteer to be a worm.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I volunteer, but like somebody could. I volunteer to be a worm.
It's like this is my life dream.
I have been dialed in to this drama.
Communication is alpha.